Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. Got a Dynastar M Pro 100 for you today. It's a carryover model from last year when it was new. Same construction, shape, profile, and graphics. We are in year 2 now of this ski, and it is a really well-rounded all-mountain ski. A little bit on the wider side of the spectrum. Skis at about 100 tend to blur some lines between all mountain and freeride. I think it's fair to say though that within the Dynastar brand, the M Free 100 certainly kind of puts that ski over the edge in terms of freeride skis, whereas the metal construction and kind of more traditional nature of this 100 puts it more in the all mountain sense. It's a really strong carver, and it does have some nice versatility as well, but it does seem more at home making nice carved turns on groomed terrain. Some people just like a wider body platform for on-trail skiing. Like, I'm one of them. I think it's fun to make higher edge angle turns with greater ease. That's what that wider width is for. It's not as kind of demanding or picky of what you're doing. And then if you want to go off trail, ski in the bumps, ski in the woods, this will handle that as well. So really fun ski. Built with their hybrid core 2.0 consisting of poplar and polyurethane. That core does have 3 layers of poplar running through the center. The top 2 are milled and joined together through friction. So 2 pieces of wood milled and then joined together, as opposed to vertical stringers that are glued. And they are eliminating the need for as much adhesive in these skis and making them more eco-friendly in the process. The polyurethane along the sides does a great job at quieting the ski and damping vibrations. That plastic material is very interesting. It's not used in other skis and just does a really nice job at keeping the ski smooth. There's just something about the Dynastar skis that use this polyurethane that feel different than others, and that's what it's all about. They do use a rocket frame 2.0 Titanal laminate in this ski. So it is full width underfoot and then extends a little bit into the shovel, and then back behind the heels goes into an H shape. It does not go all the way back into the end of the ski. So that metal is allowing for a little bit more playful flotation in the shovel, and then a little bit more grip and energy out of the tail. Pretty strong build. You know, it's not terribly heavy though. These skis are meant to be used kind of in a moderate nature. You know, there are skis in that 100 millimeter zone that are a lot burlier, you know, 2 full sheets of metal and real kind of hard chargers. These are kind of a step back from that, allowing for more moderate skiing. You don't have to be super aggressive on them. They're not overly demanding. They're just a lot of fun, and they do deliver some nice pep. 1,876 grams here in the 178. You know, normally if a ski of this width has 2 sheets of metal, will be over the 2,000 gram mark, and those just become a little bit more cumbersome. So having a bit more agility due to the weight makes a lot of sense here. Flex-wise, not too stiff. You know, there is some nice flex. You can definitely feel a little bit of a difference above the metal here, so more flex in the shovel, and then the tail is a little bit stiffer. So you do feel, you know, a lot more energy coming out of the back end of the ski than the front. But it is supportive and consistent overall. From a shaping perspective, pretty interesting what Dynastar gets into here. You know, nice long camber underfoot, kind of a more dramatic shape than we see in some other skis, especially in the shovel here. This is where we see a bigger difference. Long, low rocker profile with a pretty massive splay. This is really kind of borrowed more from that M Free, where you know, you definitely get that bouncy feeling in softer snow. You know, it's not quite as mimicked in the tail, which is a little bit more directional in nature. You know, it's a longer tail rocker, but not a whole lot of splay, and then pretty round here. So it's not going to lock you into the turn, but it's also not going to provide just endless flotation and smeariness. It does want to be active and engaged. 17 meter turn radius. This is kind of where we see a bigger difference from the outgoing M Pro 99, which had a longer radius and kind of more of that traditional feel. Everything about this ski is rounder than we saw in that M Pro 99, and does kind of move more to the middle in terms of skier audience and skier type. Those that want to make those clean round arcs will find more to like in this M Pro 100. and it is just a little bit more amenable to softer snow with that wider, the wider tips and tails. We do have some tester feedback as well from Camden Waller. He notes that the M Pro 100 is a great charging ski. It felt most comfortable when skied over the center rather than driving hard into the turn. They felt a bit burly for me. So interesting to note that someone who's a skilled skier also finds that these are a bit burly. And yeah, I see what he's saying about the tips. You don't really need to push too hard there because there's not a lot that's going to connect to the snow. If you stay central over the ski and focus more on kind of tipping the ski up on edge as opposed to driving the shovel, you're going to get a more rewarding overall feel. But yeah, great ski in that 100 millimeter range. Just works great in an all mountain format because it's such a good carver, but then also it does have that width for softer snow and more adventurous skiing. So checks a lot of boxes for a lot of skiers. Certainly fits into that advanced and expert realm for sure, even while offering a lighter weight feel. But yeah, that's it. Make sure to check out the Dynastar M Pro 100 here at SkiEssentials.com, and we will see you out there on the hill. Bye.